Okay, now you got out of prison and eventually your experiences made you to found your own organization. It's called Migrant Defenders. Can you tell us about this organization? What is their mission, their vision? What are you doing right now?
Yeah, so the vision is, we were formed in May 2022. But we didn't really know what we were doing. I didn't really know what we were doing until last year. Just to be honest. So the vision is to have migrant workers treated as human beings, like as simple as that. Because most of the issues like they face or we face could just be solved like if we're treated like human beings, you know. But you can't really translate that into corporate speak because corporate society doesn't really understand the value of human life and emotion and sentiment and all that. But that's what we do. So, to treat us as human beings, that's the vision. The mission that we're currently working on is to have sustainable integration of migrant workers. So basically, if someone is in any distress or in danger in the Gulf countries, we could kind of like get them out, bring them back to their own country, rehabilitate them, give them skills to be able to earn a living. And
in their home country.
In their home country, or if they choose to, if they want to travel, we can also look at sustainable ways and ethical ways, legal ways of migrating to other countries. Because the Gulf is no one's first choice, to be honest. So that's essentially like what we do. It's not easy, but we've done the research, we've done the groundwork, so we're just looking to do the project now. So that's in a nutshell what we do.
And how many people work within your organization? How big is that? Just to get an idea.
4 now.
Yeah.
4 now.
4 now.
Yeah.
And they're from Kenya or from all over the world?
Yeah, Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah, so the goal is to have a substantial number of former migrant workers to be on like in the day-to-day running of the whole process, because I believe in giving a voice and giving a power, giving a platform to those who've been in this situation because they have an understanding of the whole situation and they can make informed decisions about migration and modern slavery, human trafficking, which we don't see a lot of. For example, in some rooms, in some meetings, in some conferences, like you need migrant workers to give you their perspective, and not just like one migrant worker, because my specific point of view comes from a male working in the security industry. You might have a lady who's working in the hospitality industry. You might have, people with various disabilities, visually impaired, all these things.
So it's also part of your idea to sort of create spaces for exchange?
Inclusive and, we kind of want to have as many people representing the board, like across the board, as possible. But it takes time, it takes resources, but we are doing it either way.
And are you focused on Kenyans or Africans, or is it the people you help? Are they from the international community, or are they mostly?
So we are dealing with Kenyans in the Gulf states.
Okay.
Why we do that? Because I think it's much more easy and efficient to focus on what you know and what you can actually quantify. That's just my perspective. Because we already have an understanding of how the Gulf works. We know the migration process from Kenya to the Middle East. We know like the whole transit. We know the loopholes. We know the various traffickers, the smugglers, and everything else. So I think we have found like our niche and all that. Plus, there's thousands of organizations who deal with every other issue. So I think we're good where we are.
Thank you. Ja, ich bin gefragt, also er hat ja dann die Organisation Migrant Defenders gegründet. Was macht die so? Was ist ihr Ziel? Was ist die Zielsetzung? Was ist ihre tägliche Arbeit? Also er hat gesagt, die Vision ist einfach, behandelt Arbeitsmigranten und Migrantinnen wie Menschen. Ist das erstmal sehr klar formuliert und dann ist aber natürlich auf dieser klaren Formulierung ist dann die Frage, was heißt das übersetzt und was braucht es dazu auch? Und Sie sind jetzt gerade darauf fokussiert, Kenianer und Kenianerinnen, die in den Golfstaaten arbeiten, wenn sie denn dort vor Ort Probleme haben, wenn sie Schwierigkeiten haben, mentaler Natur und so weiter, wieder zurück in ihre Heimat zu holen und ihnen dort Möglichkeiten zu öffnen, ein selbstbestimmtes Leben zu führen. Das ist eigentlich die Zielsetzung. Und Sie haben, also Bergmann hat gesagt, Sie fokussieren sich gerade darauf, weil da kennen Sie sich aus, Sie kennen die Agenturen, die das Human Trafficking betreiben, also die Leute, die nach Katar bringen. Sie kennen die Situation vor Ort, Sie kennen sozusagen die Rechtslage dort, die Schwierigkeiten, wie die Rechtslage eben nicht umgesetzt wird. Sie kennen aber auch sozusagen die Lücken im System, die Schlupflöcher. Und mit denen arbeiten Sie und versuchen da etwas aufzubauen. Und es ist ein zäher Prozess, es ist nicht einfach, Sie sind zu viert, aber Sie sind dran. Okay. Now, of course, we're here in Germany, and of course, I would like to ask you, first of all, what is basically your perspective on Europe and Germany with all this issue you're working on? What kind of influence do you think we have here in Europe and Germany on the situation of migrant workers worldwide in Qatar? And what is your perspective, if you have any, I don't know, on migrant workers here in Europe and Germany?
So migrant workers in Europe. So I've had this discussion intermittently for the past, I think, 1 year. In Europe, in the UK and everything else. So there are a lot of similarities between migration in the EU and in the Middle East. One is taking people's passports when they arrive. The other is long hours, accommodation, language barrier. Here it's the different languages, but in the Gulf it's Arabic and all that. We do have that level of disconnect between employees and the state they're in, the bureaucracy of government services, among other things. So for the most part, there's a lot of similarities between the EU and the Middle East and the whole migration process, right from even the whole country, the recruitment agencies and the bureaus and all these things. And the motivations for people to also migrate, pretty much the same. What I would say makes the difference is when you kind of follow it up on a legal aspect, like when you report it to the courts or to the police and all that. I think Germany has, according to the conversations I've had, has a better record of addressing those issues and kind of providing justice, if reported, better than the Gulf states. So that's what I've noticed for the most part. But it's usually the same process and everything. What can Germany do, to be honest? Implementation of the laws and enforcement of the laws, like we were talking about earlier. Because we have really good laws that state how long a person should work, how much they should get, minimum wage laws, discrimination policies, all those things. But if you don't enforce them, if you don't implement them, you're no better than any other country, and also, I'm not sure how far this will go, but kind of reduce the bureaucracy. The bureaucracy is a deterrent to ethical migration. So I would say that.
Thank you. Ich habe ihn gefragt, wie sieht die Situation hier in Europa und Deutschland, ist die vergleichbar mit der in Katar? Er hat gesagt, ja, in vielen Punkten ist sie sehr vergleichbar, also die Art und Weise, wie Menschen hier nach Deutschland kommen, dass sie dafür Geld zahlen, dass sie sich in einem System gegenüber sehen, nach Bürokratie gesprochen, dass ihnen einfach fremd ist, die Sprache ist ihnen fremd, dass sie da große Schwierigkeiten haben, da werden wir dann auch gleich drüber reden. Der einzige Unterschied tatsächlich ist, dass er gesagt hat, dass wenn sozusagen Rechtsbruch gemeldet wird hier bei uns, dann sind unsere Behörden wirklich viel, viel besser unterwegs, dann auch die Rechtsdurchsetzung herbeizuführen. Aber das Problem ist halt, was davon gemeldet wird. Das ist nochmal die große Frage. Und thank you for now. I'm going to talk to, because we're switching now to Europe and Germany. Thank you so much.